Hello there, I am the Biblical Translator and I tend to paraphrase the Bible and so that people can relate to it in today's lifestyle and how it can affect you today. A lot of people feel far removed from the Bible. They think it's outdated, it's old-fashioned. So I'm here to try and bring it back to life. And I've been making my way through the New Testament for those of you who have been following me. So today's scripture is taken from Mark 8:14, and let me just read it to you. Then Jesus called to the crowd to come and hear. All of you listen, he said, and try to understand. It's not what goes into your body that defiles you. You are defiled by what comes from your heart. Then Jesus went into a house to get away from the crowd, and his disciples asked him what was meant by that parable he had just used. Don't you understand either? Jesus asked. Can't you see that the food you put into your body cannot defile you? Food doesn't go into your heart, but only passes through your stomach and then goes into the sewer. And then he added, it is what comes from inside that defiles you. For from within, out of a person's heart, comes evil thoughts, sexual immorality, theft, murder, adultery, greed, wickedness, deceit, lustful desires, envy, slander, pride, and foolishness. All these vile things come from within and are what defile you. Now, for me, let me just put the Bible over there and take my glasses off because I don't really need them because I'm not reading. For me, the food is an analogy. A lot of people, you can either believe that it does mean that the food that you eat cannot defile you, and so that's why people make such a fuss about meat. Some people make a fuss about pork and what goes in the body. But I was wondering, if it was in today's time, would Jesus still say that it's not what goes into your body that defiles you? Because when you think about the insecticides, the preservatives, the pesticides, the sodium, the sulfur, and all of the things they put on food today, they can actually damage your body. But that's why I don't really think we have to concentrate so much on what type of food that you're eating. Well, whether it's you're vegan or vegetarian or flexitarian, whatever it is you are, or carnivorous. It's about your inside, your heart. Because you have a lot of people who are so picky. Oh, I don't want to eat that because of this, and I can't eat that because of that. And you have the vegans having a go at the people, the carnivores, and saying that they're wrong because they're eating animals. And they become so self-righteous about what the physical of what they're putting into the body. That's just, from my perspective, the food is an analogy from, that Jesus is using. And what he's trying to say is that stop bickering about the superficial, because the food goes in one end and out the other. So stop bickering about that and concentrate what really affects your behavior, what really impacts your body, what really defiles you. And what defiles you is your behavior, your attitude, how you conduct yourself throughout life. Like he was talking about, greed, envy. You can throw in there resentment, anger. You can throw all of those things in there. And they are what defiles you. They are what comes out in your body. And a lot of people die from cancer just because they've got all of these things going on that defile them. People, we've all got cancers inside the body, but what triggers those cancers? It's those thoughts. the behaviors, the attitudes, the reactions we have to certain situations. That's what defiles the body. So I'm not saying that, food doesn't defile the body, and especially today when we hear that they're doing so much with the food, to whatever reason they have for doing it. But what I'm trying to say is that put more importance on your behavior and your attitude and how you relate to others. Because I'm always saying this, love conquers all. If you grow from a spirit of love, you'll be healed from within, because you won't have all those destructive thoughts and obstructive thoughts and those feelings of resentment and bitterness and anger and all those insecurities that people feel. You'll have a sense of strength and power. Love gives you strength and power, but people underestimate love. They underestimate its power. They underestimate what it can do for them. People are always looking for others to do for them instead of doing to others. And what they don't realize is that by showing love, by having a pure heart, by having a clean spirit, that they are actually clean and healed within, regardless of what they eat. Normally people who behave in that way, in a generous spirit, in a loving way, they tend to be moderate anyway. They tend not to go to extremes, so they tend not to kind of go into a realm where the food can defile their body. They probably are a bit more conscious about what they eat. But that is not the point. The point Jesus is making here is that don't waste your time on the superficial. Remember when he was talking about the hypocrites who were making a fuss about whether or not Jesus' disciples were washing their hands or not. That was petty because their behavior was not of God, and yet they were looking at the ceremony, they were looking at the tradition and the custom. This is a similar situation where people are focusing on what they are eating instead of what is really going on inside their bodies, what's really going on inside their hearts. What are they thinking? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about your spouse? What are your thoughts about your parents if they're alive? What are your thoughts about people at work, your next door neighbour? What kind of thoughts do you have about these people? Are they thoughts of love? Or are they thoughts of competition? Are they thoughts of resentment? Are they thoughts of how you're going to get them back, revenge? When you're around, do you just take what you need, or are you greedy, gluttonous? This is what Jesus is talking about. Your behavior. And how that behavior comes out in you as a person. Sometimes because your behavior isn't clean and pure, it comes out in illnesses and in your countenance, and you can't smile and you can't look good because you're weighed down. The burden of all of these evils, the 7 deadly sins, I'll just put them all under one umbrella, because that's mostly what it is. It's the 7 deadly sins that keep you bound. They keep you constipated. The body can't operate properly. So all I'm saying is, to live a light and healthy life, don't concentrate too much on the incidentals, on these little things that don't really matter. In the grand scheme of things, they go in one end and out the other. It's like people who listen, who have selective hearing, and things go through one ear and out the other. What is the fundamental? What is the foundation of your belief and your behavior? And that is what we need to concentrate on today. And that is my scripture for today. And let me know how you feel about these these videos. Thank you very much, and I'm the Biblical Translator, and see you next time. Bye.